Welcome back to another episode of Grizzly True Crime. My name is Gisela K, and today we're looking at the case of Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell. We're going to go through the whole history, and you know me, I deep dive, which means I've dug out some facts that I'm like, wait, what? Because I like to look at the background, like completely deep dive the person or people's background. So I found some interesting stuff. We're going to be looking at that together. I'm going to pop up my presentation here now in a moment. Here we go. Of course, we've got our disclaimer. All Grizzly true crime content is for adults only and may contain themes that some individuals find triggering, offensive, or disturbing. The intent is not to disrespect viewers or any individuals spoken about herein. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay, so you've been warned. It is a crazy case, though. I'm just going to put this background on. It might be nicer. Okay. So let's get started. It's such a big story. We just got to dive right in. Get your snorkels out, everyone. Okay. I might actually do this. Yes, that's a good one. Lori Vallow Daybell. If you've never heard of this case, don't worry. After today and tomorrow, you're going to know all about it. Like literally, you will know. You'll be, well, should I say an expert on the case? You're going to know. Okay. So here we go. Lori Vallow Daybell, born Lori Noreen Cox. She thinks she's an angel. That's why there's a halo over there. She was born on June 26, 1973 in San Bernardino, California. She's currently in Madison County Jail in East Idaho. Idaho is the last place she was residing with hubby number 5, Chad Daybell. Chad Daybell, you can see there's an example of some of the books. Well, he didn't write the Book of Mormon, but he wrote Living on the Edge of Heaven and a whole bunch of apocalyptic type doomsday predicting books. So that's what's up Lori in. Yes, she really liked that. So she was, her other names, if you see these names anyway, are, it's obviously from being married many times. So Lori Noreen Lagoya, Lori Noreen Ryan, Lori Noreen Vallow, Lori Vallow Daybell, and Lori Ryan Daybell. Keep in mind that when she was married to husband number 5, after her kids had gone missing and were later found murdered, she had rented a storage locker and was actually then still using the name for that locker, sneakily, Lori Ryan. So it kind of suited her to have all these, all these names. Okay. So we continue. Yes, so her dad, his name, Barry Cox. That's a picture of him. I've just seen a lot of articles saying it's this elusive dad. No one knows anything about him, but there he is. Barry L. Cox. Mother, Janice Cox. Now the red crosses mean people who died, and you'll see those red crosses quite a lot in this case because Lori is kind of like the center of the drama and murder. There's so many people around her that have died very, very mysteriously. Her brother, Adam Cox, that's their eldest brother. Then she had a sister, Stacy Lynn Cox Cope. Now, this Stacy Lynn Cox Cope died mysteriously in 1998 at the age of 31. The thing is that her brother, Alex Cox, who later also died, we're going to go there. Alex was the only one home with Stacy that day. Now, Alex is a big, big, big red flag in this case, of course, and it's very, very sad that, of course, he's not around to tell the tale, because he's definitely a key part of this case. But anyway, at least Lori and Chad are in prison, well, in jail, waiting for their trial to begin in January 2023, and they're both facing the death penalty. So there's that. But the brother was the only one home with Stacy that day. And apparently Stacy died of diabetic shock. Some people say natural causes. However, Alex was using Stacy's credit card on the day that she had died. So there's that too. Yeah, there's so much in this case. This was my best way of making sense of this. Okay, I'm just looking at some of the comments here. Test the link. Okay. So then there's another sister, Summer Shiftlet. So the picture's next to me here. The first picture is of Adam Cox. Second picture, Stacy Lynn Cox Cope. Then the third picture is of the sister, Summer Shiftlet. And the last picture, that one, is Alex Cox. Alex Cox shot Lori's fourth husband. We're going to get into it. Stay with me, everyone. Stay focused. Get your notebooks out. Okay. Now, this I found pretty interesting. This is a little article about her dad, Barry L. Cox, a resident of Rialto, 22 years. Barry L. Cox and his wife Janice are the parents of 5 children and reside at 1032 North Olive Street. He was born in Long Beach, graduated from San Bernardino High School, and attended San Bernardino Valley College. He later received a Bachelor of Science degree from Brigham Young University and spent a year on postgrad studies in biochemistry there. For the past 2 years, Cox has been attending Citrus Belt Law School. He is this is very, very important. Take notes. A life underwriter for Beneficial Life Insurance Company and has been active in the YMCA. He's a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Mormon Church. So yes, Lori was born into an LDS family. And so the story is probably a terrible, terrible representation, yes, of the LDS Church. I mean, for all of you who are in here, yeah, BYU, exactly. Yeah, Lorraine's like, BYU, exactly. That is where Lori was saying her daughter went, which was false. Her daughter at the time when she said that was already no longer with us. Oh, the story just goes on and on. But the thing is, this whole case is just like the worst example of religion, of Mormons, of the LDS Church, and all of this. It's just like when two individuals take something and then they absolutely make it their own and run with it and just actually do the most sinister stuff on earth. Okay, let me quickly just take myself off for a second. So daddy's girl over here on the right-hand side, you're like, hey, come back. Hello to the Pronzos as well. Oh, thank you so much. Sorry, I see I missed something there. Jared Buck, thank you so much. This case is crazy. Keep up the hard work, G. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks for that super sticker. Daddy's girl over here. You know, on this channel, we talk a lot about baby boys, but over here, we got a little baby girl over here who's like, ooh, daddy's into life insurance. I'm going to know all about it and then just friggin' do the worst with it my whole life. You know? Can you hear me now? Okay. Hello, Lieutenant Peter Pronzo. That's what I was asking the other day. I wonder if I'm muted when I go away. Okay, so sorry about that. What I was doing when I just took myself off screen for a second was just reading what was there. So let me do this. And then we could see it together. So, okay, cool. So all I was saying was that he was a missionary in England from 1963 to 1965. His campaign statement said, I would like to see more long-range city planning, which would prevent the oversaturation of any one type of business and provide a variety of business opportunities. I support programs that benefit the needs of the youth and the elderly and want to reduce all unnecessary spending. Now that sounds freaking angelic, except that this man and his wife believe that paying taxes is pure evil. So I just dug a little bit into that I still need to deep dive a bit, but there's something about them having some kind of issue with the IRS just because they believe that paying taxes is evil. That's all I can say there. Delphine's Handcrafted. Thank you for your $10 super sticker. This case is going to have twists and turns. Long trial. I agree. It's already been so long, right? Okay. She knew the ins and outs of life insurance from a young age. Absolutely, Maggie Jane. Nice to see some new faces in the chat. Hello, Maggie Jane. McKinnon. Yes, I thought maybe Miss Tui thought maybe you fell asleep. I did for a second, just like, hold on, guys. It's just too comfortable. All right, so we continue. I'm still looking at my notes to make sure that I don't miss a thing. So let's continue. Here we go. So important. She learned the life insurance thing from daddy. I haven't actually seen anyone else mention that, but it's important because she was obviously looking up to her dad like, wow, look at him with all that life insurance skills. Daddy, tell me everything. And then, wow. Again, you see a lot of red crosses going on here. So Amy says, that's one thing I agree with about taxes. That's the only thing. Yeah, true. If I was going to get all political, I could go there just because, damn, in the Netherlands, the taxes be so sky high, like so incredibly high. Like it's ridiculous. Anyway, okay. So if anyone is having any issues with the visuals or anything, just make sure you toggle the little gear button and make sure you've got the setting to 1080p, okay, or the highest you can go. Okay, Lori has had 5 husbands since 1992. 1, Nelson Yanes, 1992. It's just listed as 1992 because it was like in, out in a year. Lucky him. Number 2, William, do we say Lagoya? That one I'm still like, I've seen it pronounced different ways, but Lagoya, 1995 to 1998. And then he got out of there. Then we have Joseph Anthony Ryan Jr., 2001 to 2005. Okay, now he died mysteriously of a heart attack when he was super fit, super healthy, doing his thing in 2018. Conveniently, also, when Lori just swooped in and claimed again some sort of life insurance for his daughter, Tylee. We're going to look into a deeper layer after this, okay? You're like, wow, that's quite a few. That's quite a few. Heidi's like, I don't get the multiple husband thing. Yeah, she was a busy lady. She was, one would think commitment phobic, but actually not, because she just kept on getting married. I think she loved getting married, you know? So it's not 5 at one time. It's all just one after the other, after the other, after the other. My goodness. Okay, so then Charles Anthony Vallow, so that's why she's Lori Vallow Daybell. 2006. When did they get married? Wait, oh, they got married in 2006. Yeah, there we go. They got married in 2006, and then he died in 2019 because her brother shot him. We'll get into that. And then the 5th husband, Chad Daybell, they've been married since 2019, since November 5th, actually. And he's got handcuffs next to his name because, hello, he's in prison. Life imprisonment with no parole is the best he can get, but he's facing the death penalty. So the Grim Reaper's on the right there. So eventually this might be updated to 3 crosses, even though he's very much also, guilty of a lot of things in this case. Exactly. Yeah, she loved the attention. She sure did. Yeah, the Black Widow. Yeah, called her kids zombies. Exactly, Brad. We want to get into that as well. Yeah, more than a Black Widow. Do we know why Chad is still alive? Well, because Chad, I almost said Chazzy. Why is he still alive? I mean, he helped her kill a bunch of people. That's probably why. And they'd only been married a short time before they were both arrested. Her first, then him, for murdering her children. Oh man, this is just quite the story. Okay, we continue with the presentation. Here we go. Now here we go. William Lagoya is husband number 2. They were married from 95 to 98. They had 1 son together, Colby Ryan. Okay, so his surname changed to Ryan because of husband number 3 who adopted him. Colby says that he was an abusive stepdad, physically, and the other word that you can read right there on screen, which I don't want to trigger the YouTube bots, otherwise the reach will just be low. They were married from 2001 to 2005, and they together had their daughter Tylee. So there's Colby Ryan, Tylee Ryan. Colby was very close to Tylee. He died in 2018, as I say, long after him and Lori got divorced. However, nonetheless mysterious, and she sure collected the money that she could from that death. Colby lucky to survive. I agree. You know why? So Charles Vallow, which we're going to get to next, husband number 4, and Lori moved to Hawaii for quite a few years. They always dreamed of living there. And yes, if you're thinking Hawaii, but wait a minute, Chad Daybell was also with Lori in Hawaii. Yes. She definitely is. She's got patterns, put it that way, major patterns. Like her patterns are so distinct, we can see them loud and clear. Anyway, so Charles Vallow, husband number 4, and Lori had moved to Hawaii with the kids for a time. So Colby was there, Tylee was there, JJ was there. And Colby, because he was older, was like, you know what, I'm going to leave. I'm going to start my own life. He went to Arizona. He went to college. He is married now. He's got 2 kids. So because of that drive for him to start his own life and kind of just, spread his wings. Yeah, he's survived everything. He wasn't part of it. Yes, very lucky. Got to break up the crazy somehow. I know this pretty much summarizes my week of research. Exactly. Tom N, thank you for your $10 super sticker. This case is insane. So many layers, twists, turns, and lives taken. Like, this is the wildest case I've ever come across. Like, honestly, at the time when this broke, out there, I was busy immigrating. So I kind of didn't deep dive it. I had a look at it. I sort of knew about it, but like, finally, I have time to deep dive it. And I'm like, what? Like, it's unbelievable. Hello to Chris from The Monsters Under Our Bed. This case is so crazy. Thanks for covering this. Yeah, Chad is supposedly the one to lead the followers. I know, right? The prophet. Yes, Lori, Hawaii. You could probably walk around there. And are you in Hawaii, Lori? I think so, right? You say aloha. Are you still there? Meaning, I'm sure there's people that are like still there, like, oh my word, we knew them. What? They live in Hawaii. Robert, Hawaii, how romantic. Right? Yes. Hello, Grizzlies. Okay, so continue. Stay focused. Sure. Okay. So here we go. In 2004, hairstylist, she was a hairstylist, yes, Lori Ryan entered Mrs. Texas, placing in the top 15. She was married to Joe Ryan at the time. She also had won $17,000 on The Wheel of Fortune before the pageant. Let me just see if I have that clip here. Hold on one second. I might actually have it to show you. It's it's quite something. Yeah, these are the pictures taken from it. If I can't find it right now, it would be this Inside Edition one. Okay, let's make this bigger. Shame. I'm making my computer do so many things. My computer's like, what are you doing today, G? Here, let's play this for you so you can just to see a clip. Uh-oh. Okay.
Mom at the center of the missing kids mystery is not new to the spotlight.
Lori Ryan.
We've unearthed lost video of Lori Daybell from 2004 when she was a contestant in the Mrs. Texas beauty pageant. There she is in the swimsuit competition. Here she is during the evening gown competition. Back then, she was known as Lori Ryan. Listen as she's introduced.
They have 2 children, ages 8 and 1 year old. She was just recently on the Wheel of Fortune and won over $17,000.
You heard right. Lori Daybell was a contestant on Wheel of Fortune in November of 2004.
Lori definitely liked being the center of attention.
Lori's former
So this is Joe Ryan's sister, and she's now suspecting foul play. She's suspecting foul play now since all of this other stuff happened. She's like, wait a minute, my brother died very mysteriously. Like, what happened there? Ooh, wait. Pause that. Soleil, you were asking what are the numbers for? It's for husband number 2, husband number 3. The numbers are representing which husband are we talking about? Brad Hamill, she threw a friend under the bus saying her kids were there with her in Arizona. Yes, let's not spoiler alert that we're getting to it, but yes, she did. Thank you so much for your super sticker. Okay, so let me do this. Wow. I think I'm overloading my computer just a little bit. Am I okay on your side? Am I buffering at all? I have like all the tabs open, all of them. Evening wear, wedding dress. Yeah, okay, let's move on so that we don't have to stare at her in the bikini. All right. So then we've got husband number 4. So you see, okay, no buffering. Husband number 4, Charles Vallow. This is where the number 4 is there for husband number 4. Married in 2006. Now, they adopted JJ from Charles's sister's son. I'm going to show you a little visual representation because I was like, wait. That's where all my notes come in. You can see I'm like mind mapping the heck out of it. I'm like, okay, wait. So there's Charles Vallow. There's a sister. The sister has a son. The son has JJ. The son can't look after JJ. Okay. So then the sister initially adopts JJ, but then it's his grandma, who's Charles' sister. You see what I'm saying? We're going to get there. But I was like, wait, what? Okay. He looks a bit like Elon Musk. Rochelle, little bird. Elon Musk is going to be eye rolling this channel because he's always got to be brought up somewhere. Have you guys noticed? You know why? Remember Chazzy Boy at SpaceX? Elon Musk is like, oh my word. I can't remember where else we brought him up, but it's actually like becoming a bit of a Grizzly inside joke, huh? He's like, no. Yes, Elon. Okay. From South Africa, where I'm from. I know, right? Jared Buck. Are you serious? Wheel of Fortune, this case. I know. This case is like, you literally cannot. Okay, I can't say you cannot make a movie out of it because they did. They did already make a movie out of it. But like this case is like a script from hell. My goodness. Okay, so Charles was shot by Lori's brother in 2019. The family lived in Arizona. So there's Colby Ryan, Tylee Ryan, JJ Vallow, right? This was the happy little family for a bit. Charles is technically JJ's great uncle. You see what I'm saying? So, okay, look at it. On the left-hand side, we have Larry and Kay Woodcock. Kay Woodcock is the sister of Charles Vallow. Charles married Lori. Lori had Tylee Ryan from her previous marriage, hubby number 3. And for a while, Larry and Kay had adopted JJ. May 25th, 2012. Okay, that's when he was born. And then, why did they do that? Why did Larry and Kay take in, at their age, a baby boy? Because Kay's son and wife were not fit to look after him. I didn't figure out why, but they adopted him for a bit. I believe it was just about 18 months, 2 years or so. Then, on February 14th, 2013, Lori and Charles adopted JJ. So that's why the happy little family for a while was Lori, Charles Vallow, okay, JJ, Tylee, and Colby. And then they all packed up and moved to Hawaii for a bit and then came back to Arizona. All right. Are you already confused? Ask questions, guys. If you're confused, I will answer it right now. Yes, the boy was on the autism spectrum. He was. Not that that really matters, but yes, he was. Oh, yeah, but it wasn't. That's not why they weren't fit to look after him. You know, and maybe mentioning it, why did Larry and Kay kind of let Charles and Lori adopt JJ? Yes, because JJ was on the autism spectrum. He needed a lot of stimulation, a lot of time, a lot of care. And they thought that Lori was an amazing mom. Larry still said she was an amazing mom. Charles was an amazing dad, so they could do a better job at looking after him. And so they did. They said, of course. Yes. See, the good thing is you guys can watch the replay, right? Like after this, you could just watch this again if you're confused, because obviously I've sat with this like all week, making mind maps, making notes, and really understanding this case. So I don't blame you for having questions. There are so many questions. Weren't JJ's birth parents addicts? I don't know. I think so. I didn't deep dive that because I've just been deep diving all the big parts of this case, but they just said they weren't fit to look after him. So they could have been, yes. Yes, the Woodcocks have been heroes this whole thing. I agree. Okay. So the aunt and uncle adopted them, am I right? Initially, the grandparents adopted him, and then, yes, and then the aunt and uncle. Wait. Oh my word, this family mind map. Grandmother. Something like that. Yes. She's an amazing husband murderer. I know, right? I'll watch the replay as homework before part 2 tomorrow. Good job, Stefan. Okay, so Charles Vallow had actually filed for divorce in February of 2019. He really loved Lori, but he was like, she's lost her freaking mind. He'd called the cops twice, okay, on her, because he's like, he was starting to really fear for his own life and the kids. And how sad is it that he said, if anything ever happens to me, it's Lori or her brother Alex. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. Alex shot Charles Vallow. Okay, so Charles Vallow filed for divorce in February 2019. In response to this filing for divorce, Lori took Tylee, flew to Hawaii, and disappeared for 58 days. Like, literally, Charles was panicking. He didn't know where she was or what happened, where Tylee was. She just packed up and went to Hawaii, landing there and saying to her friend April, because remember, they'd lived in Hawaii before. She flew there, landed, and said, hey, April, I'm leaving. Charles, can I stay with you for a while? Stayed there for 58 days. Had duffel bags filled with burner phones and paperwork. And she was trying to recruit her friend April in Hawaii into a cult, because she was already in contact with Chad Daybell. I'm telling you, you cannot make this stuff up. I wish they could have convicted her on her husband's death. Master liar and manipulator for sure. She fooled the interrogators and prosecutors. I agree. All right. So Alex Cox shot Charles Vallow on July 11th, 2019. Now, 2019 was a very busy year for Lori because in 2019 alone, Charles Vallow died. Tylee and JJ. Okay, so all murdered. Charles Vallow, Tylee, JJ, Chad Daybell's wife, then Alex. Yeah, 5 people just in that year. Just in the second half of 2019. Like, oh my word, talk about an escalation of freaking behavior. And of course, all those life insurance calls. So what we're going to hear now is the 911 call that Alex made, which you saw in my trailer. If you saw the trailer, there was some of the body cam footage. This is the 911 call that Alex, Lori's brother, made after shooting Charles Vallow. The police never arrested him because it seemed like self-defense. The story was just so bizarre. I could see that I could do many layers of this because I'm not even reading all my notes here. I'm just looking at the presentation right now. And this is like layer 1. I don't want to overwhelm you guys, but we just got to keep it rolling. Okay, so we're going to listen to that 911 call. New level of brotherly love. Yes. So apparently Alex had a wife in 1992 who divorced his butt so fast because of how inappropriate him and Lori were together. She would jump on him, wrap her legs around his waist, and then they would simulate sex acts in front of his wife. She found it really creepy. He said, what is the problem? This is normal. This is what we do in our family. And she's like, this is so not normal. So they had a very strange relationship because one might ask, why? Why would Alex do all this for Lori? Well, Alex felt like he was Lori's protector, especially the deeper they got into their religious beliefs, which was kind of like a religion of their own eventually, of course, with Chad Daybell's influence. Alex friggin' loved Chad Daybell. Lori was reading all his books. Lori is still reading his books in prison. Can you believe that? Oh, my word. Also, another random fact, Charles Vallow was always making sure that Lori was happy. And all she wanted was a room to dance in. So there was one empty room in the house where she could, with mirrors everywhere, where she could just dance. She danced for 2 to 3 hours at a time to Christian music or 80s love songs, filming herself and sending those videos to Chad Daybell. What? So now in prison, she's still reading Chad Daybell's books and she still dances for hours at a time, but there's no music. People say it looks absolutely freaking crazy from what I've read everywhere, right? So Lori did something not very nice to them for the life insurance. Absolutely. So now we're going to listen to 2 things. First, we're going to listen to the 911 call made by Alex. Then we're going to listen to the lovely little life insurance call that Lori made. Okay? So let's remove this one. And let's add this one.
Sure.
Hello. Can you guys hear me now? Let me know if you can. Wow. I was showing Mr. Grizzly some very fierce body language. Listen. Okay. I will cut that portion out too. So now We were listening to the 911 call, weren't we? Yes, we were. What a day. What a day, everyone. Okay, so we're going here. No. Too far. We're here. Hello, everyone. If you're like, well, how are you chatting on? I was chatting on my phone using my data. That was cool. That was just like in the unlikely event of the whole Netherlands internet failing, do not panic. Just show Mr. Grizzly some eyes and like, hello, 500 people. Anyway, we're going to go back to this video call. 911 call. Hold on. I'm going to load it for you now. Here we go.
Here's your emergency.
It's at 5531 South Four Peaks. I think it's Four Peaks Lane. I'm not sure.
I'm sorry, you say you don't know the direction?
I don't know the street name, if it's a lane or court.
It's 5531 East, though?
Yeah, or South. South Four Peaks.
5531 South Four Peaks in Chandler. Is that right?
Yes.
You need
Yes.
police or paramedics?
Both. I'm in police and an ambulance.
What's the emergency there?
I got in a fight with my brother-in-law and I shot him in self-defense.
Okay, let me get the medics on the phone. And is he hurt or is he alive or?
Yeah, there's blood. He's not moving.
How long ago did this happen?
A couple of minutes.
Fire department, what is the address of the emergency?
5531 South Four Peaks.
And is that a house in Chandler?
Yes.
And your phone number, please?
480-351-9120.
And just repeat the address to confirm it.
5531 South Four Peaks.
And what is the emergency?
I shot my brother-in-law.
Okay, what part of his body is injured?
Wow.
In the chest.
I'm sorry, where?
In the chest.
Okay, is he awake and responsive or unconscious?
Unconscious.
Okay, is he breathing?
I can't tell.
Okay, are you willing to go over to him and check?
Sure.
Okay, do you just let me know if you see his chest going up and down? How old is he?
It's not moving. He's 60.
Okay, and are you...
Bear in mind, he's going to fake doing compressions on his chest now. When the police arrived, yes, he had some blood on the back of his head, and he said that Charles Vallow hit him with a baseball bat, Tylee's baseball bat, in fact. Charles Vallow was a former professional baseball player. And so if he really wanted to take a swing, it would have done a lot more damage than what Alex was showing there. But he was like patting himself, sitting on the curb and just like, oh my word, like I got hit with a baseball bat. So I just had to go to my room. And I'm like, why does he have a room there? I had to go to my room, fetch my gun and just shoot him twice in the chest. It's just like self-defense. But now listen, when they say I can walk you through the compressions, he's like, okay. And he's like, oh man, he's doing like heavy breathing and everything, but there was no blood on his hands, no blood on him. He didn't help at all.
Wanting to start CPR?
No, I don't know how to do that.
I can walk you through it.
Okay.
And what I want to do is you're going to put one hand in the center of his chest.
Yeah.
The other hand's going to go right on top of it.
Okay.
You're going to interlock your fingers, keeping your arms straight, and you're going to press down hard and fast into his chest. You're going to go 2 inches down and fairly quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, making sure his chest goes up between each compression. Where's the gun now?
It's in the other room.
Okay. PD, we're going to stage for you.
Okay, thank you.
Listen to him.
Okay, just keep going with those compressions. PD, did you have any other questions?
Yes, what's your name, sir?
My name is Alex. Last name is Cox, C-O-X.
And where are you announced now?
Exactly, Miss Kim. He's holding the phone.
In the living room.
And where is the gun?
It's in a bedroom.
Who else is there in the house with you?
Just me.
What gun is it? Was it a
It's my gun. It's a 45.
Oh my
A
word.
pistol? 45 caliber pistol?
Yeah. Yeah.
Also note that Alex Cox, Lori's brother, shot Charles Vallow in the dancing room. That's kind of what I was saying before the whole internet in the Netherlands crashed on this lovely day. They were like, oh no, this is just too much. Shut it down. He was shot in the dancing room. I find that quite strange. So there was no furniture around. There was not much forensic work to do there, is what they were saying. And I can't believe that Alex Cox got away with this, and Lori. I mean, she packed up right after this and moved to Rexburg, Idaho, to be with Chad Daybell. So, wow. To just hear this, it's actually really shocking.
What's his name, your brother-in-law?
Charles Vallow.
What?
His last name, I'm sorry.
Vallow.
Vallo. Vallow.
V like Victor or G like George?
V like Victor.
Okay, I could see Lorraine saying dancing room, so maybe you guys missed it just before everything cut out. So Charles Vallow wanted to make Lori so happy that all she wanted always was a dancing room. So she had this room that had mirrors all around, and she could just dance in there for 2 to 3 hours at a time, loving to dance to Christian music and 80s love songs. She would film herself and send those videos on email. Those would have been quite sizable videos to Chad Daybell. The betrayal in this case is like next level. Oh my word.
Police and medics are on the way to help you.
Thank you.
Are you still doing chest compressions with him?
Yes.
Okay, just keep pushing down hard and fast in the center of his chest. How long ago did this occur? Did it just happen?
Yeah, maybe 5 minutes before I called.
Okay. Just make sure you're still pressing down at least 2 inches into his chest, and it comes up with each compression. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3,
I wonder what he's actually
4,
doing.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Listen.
10. Okay, were you guys arguing when this happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
He waited 43 minutes.
And you
before
said there's
calling
nobody
police.
else there, just you and him, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, he's totally acting. Oof, but it must be so to be a fly on that wall. What is he doing?
Could you just let us know when it's secure?
Certainly, we'll do that.
Thank you.
And was he armed also, or just you, or what happened there?
Exactly.
Yeah, he came at me with a bat.
Anyone been drinking or doing drugs or anything today, or no?
I don't know, but I've never seen him that enraged before.
Does he live there with you, or where does he live?
No, he lives in Houston.
He's married to your sister. Is she? Where is she?
Correct. I don't know. I think she's taking her son to school.
Okay.
And that's the crazy part. Lori, Tylee, and JJ were allegedly around when this happened. And then she told the kids, go stand outside, just wait outside. They apparently heard the shots but didn't see it happen. Lori got in the car, drove off with Tylee and JJ, stopped at Burger King, got JJ what she said was his normal breakfast, which is strange, like a burger and fries type thing, and Sprite, like what? Before school, dropped him off at school, and came back with Tylee. What? So we'll look at that a little bit.
Questions? You still doing that? Did you see anything?
This is not Chad on the phone. This is Lori's brother, Alex, who shot Charles Vallow, hubby number 4.
response from him? You know?
He's not responding at all.
Some officers should be there. Let me know when they get inside to you. Is the front door open?
Yeah. It's unlocked.
Okay. Can you come out, walk outside with your hands empty?
Sure.
Are you able to do that with your hands up and empty?
Yeah.
He was like, okay, no problem.
Your front door, right?
Oh my word.
No weapons on me. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Oh my word.
No one else is in the house.
Have a seat right there.
Yep.
Get FD in here.
Yeah.
Have a seat.
Yeah.
Got some ID on you, sir?
Okay, so let's look at the video. Lori Vallow went to a pool party hours after her estranged husband was killed by her brother. Can you believe it? Oh my word. Let's just look at this quickly. Whew. Let's share the screen. This is when it was going to crash last time.
7-year-old J.J. Vallow and 17-year-old Tylee Ryan have been missing for more than 5 months now, and their mother, Lori Vallow, still refuses to cooperate with police.
She's been in Hawaii with her new husband, Chad Daybell, for the past several weeks. Now the latest Dateline episode is shedding new light on what happened to JJ's father and Lori's ex-husband, Charles Vallow.
Our Gretchen Parsons has been closely following this story from the start. She joins us in studio now with another disturbing development. Gretchen?
Well, Mark and Kim, as we've reported, Lori's brother Alex Cox shot and killed Charles this past July in Arizona. But now new details about what else Lori did that day and how she reacted is raising some red flags.
And is he hurt or is he alive? Or?
Yeah, there's blood. He's not moving.
On July 11th, 2019, Lori Vallow's brother Alex Cox called 911 to report he had just killed Charles Vallow, JJ's father and Lori's estranged husband.
I got in a fight with my brother-in-law and I shot him in self-defense. He came at me with a bat.
Lori, JJ, and Tylee were all home at the time. As police questioned Lori, she didn't appear rattled or upset, even laughing at one point.
How long have you lived here?
Like 3 weeks.
Oh, geez. Yeah, okay.
That's why the neighbors don't know us.
Gotcha.
Like, hi, neighbor, sorry.
Arizona detectives say throughout Lori's interview with police, she wasn't fazed.
It was kind of like a happy-go-lucky. She was just kind of smiling. She was talking about how Tylee was going to go to BYU, Hawaii, and it was just a very, very nonchalant. You would have thought that we just, recovered their stolen vehicle.
Cox is shown here dabbing at a wound he says he got after Charles hit him with the bat.
It definitely didn't appear that he was struck with, an extreme amount of force to him.
Just to clarify, this was a house that Lori had just recently moved into. So it wasn't the house with the dancing room that Charles had for her, but she had this empty room, which was assumed to be another room that she was just dancing around in, because she always needed to have that, including now in prison. In her cell, she's got a little dancing routine, which must look quite hectic for wow, all the other inmates. So this was Lori's house. As she says, they only lived there for she's 2 to 3 weeks. And Charles had actually come there we can take a deeper dive from, my notes are the deepest dive, okay? So right now, this is the problem I was having, is that this is such a deep dive. Presenting it to you is like layer by layer. We're going to have to do layer by layer, piece by piece, So I think this part 1 is going to be like layer 1. And then part 2, tomorrow, we can deep dive all these extra details. How's that? So Charles had come to pick up JJ to take him to school. And when he arrived there, apparently there was some baseball bat stuff going around. Apparently there was some anger between Charles and Alex. But of course, if you just know the whole story of Lori and her brother Alex and just everything that they've been up to, yes. But then Alex was just magically there at Lori's house. He followed her kind of everywhere. That's the funny thing with him. Oh my word. And shot Charles twice in the chest with his own gun. Okay.
baseball bat. Charles was a very physically fit man, and actually a former college ball player. So it didn't appear that it was a huge strike to the head.
The same day Charles was killed, neighbors say Lori threw a pool party.
How can everyone be so calm and, seemingly so unaffected?
That's Tylee's aunt, Annie Cushing. She believes that what Lori and Cox told police was a cover-up. And because the children were witnesses, that's why they're missing.
I do wonder with Tylee if she was asked to toe the line to keep everyone out of prison.
The day after Charles was killed, Lori told Charles's 2 sons from a previous marriage that their father had died via text message.
And I couldn't believe that she did that in that way. I mean, I wish she would have called me and said, can you please tell Cole? But to do it so brutal through a text was
Horrible.
it was horrible.
And of course, we know that Alex Cox, he died mysteriously in December. The results of his autopsy are...
Lady, don't jump the gun for us. Okay, so there's that you've seen. There is actually, honestly, there's so much interrogation footage, interviews with friends, interviews with family. There's so much that we can look at. I could be busy for a while, but I'm trying to make sure we do this piece by piece, little by little on this deep dive, okay? Hope you're enjoying it. If you are, remember, thumbs up. Text message. Yeah, she sent a text message. We're like, oh yeah, your father's dead, by the way. Sorry. My goodness. The story, I just can't. I know, right? And had a pool party. And the bat actually was Tylee's bat because she was playing baseball at school, I believe. So there was a bat, and apparently it was in the house, but who knows if that got tested or not, if someone did hit him on the back of the head or not, but not, I would assume it wasn't Charles Vallow. He would hit a lot harder than that. I'm assuming it was all just a setup. And they actually got away with it, which is the worst. So to continue with this. Okay, so just for everyone who's just like new here, you're rolling in now and you're like, what? So on the left, we've got Alex Cox, Lori's brother, who shot her 4th husband, Charles Vallow, in the chest twice. Those are the 2 kids, JJ and Tylee, that were with Lori at the time. And after Charles was shot, Lori then headed to Rexburg, Idaho in September of 2019. And of course, Alex, the bro, followed. Okay, so you're all with me? Are we all okay? Do you understand? I feel like a teacher today. Do you understand me? Oh, man. Thank you so much, Linda. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Okay, so we continue. So you can see the mess, right? This is now husband. Number 1, divorce. Number 2, divorce. Husband number 3 dies mysteriously in 2018. Husband number 4 shot in the chest twice by Lori's brother. Okay? And then we've got adopted son JJ. We've got Tylee from husband number 3. Colby's gone off to live on his own. Okay? And so Lori tells Colby, her elder son from her 3rd marriage, yeah, I'm just going to pack up and move somewhere cold. I'm just going to go. So for a long time, for quite a few excruciating months, Lori's own son and the rest of the family didn't know where she moved to. And it was actually, if you remember, Charles's sister, Kay Woodcock, and her husband, Larry, that found that a Gmail was still logged in on their account, Charles Vallow's Gmail. And that is how they traced where the heck Lori was, in Rexburg, Idaho. The place that Chad Daybell, which you're about to see, husband number 5, a professional freaking gravedigger who then became a cult leader, said the 144,000 disciples, right, in the end of times are all going to move to Rexburg, Idaho. So there off went Lori. So let's just look at a little more. Keep on going. Keep it rolling. Okay, so here are some other important people in the story. I have to mention it here. Take notes, okay? I'm telling you, make mind maps. Okay, so remember Stacy Lynn Cox Copes, the lady Cox Cope, that mysteriously died of diabetic shock or natural causes, and yet Alex was the only one in the house with her at the time. Why was he at her house? I don't know, because she was 31 years old. And she was married and had children. But Alex was the only one at her house at the time and used her credit cards on the day that she died mysteriously. So that's already a red flag. Let's put it that way. But now that lady died. She had a daughter, Melanie. Melanie is then Lori's niece. You get it? Because Stacy is Lori's sister, deceased sister. She had a daughter, Melanie. Melanie is important, okay? She was married to Brandon Boudreaux. Are we following? Right. Yes, she was probably given too much insulin. Yeah. Yeah, gravedigger turns cult leader. A small step. Stefan. Right, so Melanie, Lori's niece, also followed Lori everywhere. She went to Rexburg too, which we're going to get to, but she was married to Brandon Boudreaux. Now, Alex, Lori's brother, allegedly, and actually did, but I have to say allegedly, tried to kill him on October 2nd, 2019. I told you, October was a busy year for Lori and Alex. Gregory says, what? Will there be a quiz later? I will fail. Imagine that quiz. I'll be like, okay, everyone, it's question time. Pop quiz. So what happened was, after Charles Vallow had died, his Jeep with Texas license plate numbers was seen driving past by eyewitness himself, Brandon Boudreaux. This Jeep drove past. He was on his way home, parked his car, and shot at him. The bullet missed his head by inches, they say. He almost died. This was a hit. They could never prove that it was 100% Alex, but Brandon says he saw Alex driving the car. Who else would be driving Charles Vallow, who was also deceased, car? It looked like a male to him, so it's probably not Lori. And so, why did this happen? Because then Melanie would get a huge life insurance payout. You see? It's all about the life insurance. In this case, really, you got to follow the money. Really got to follow the money. Oh, my word. Yeah, a bunch of serial killers. If at first you don't murder, try again. Oh, no. South Florida Gal, thank you so much for your $20 super sticker. I really appreciate it. I know here on StreamYard, which is what I use just to stream so I could show you all these things, it doesn't pop up the sticker, but I can see it in my chat on the other screen. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I know everyone can see that too. Her family tree doesn't fork much anymore. No, it doesn't anymore. So, if we look at this just closely again, Alex, Lori's brother, allegedly tried to kill him on October 2nd, 2019. Remember that on October 1st, Lori and Chad had rented a storage locker to put all of Tylee and JJ's stuff in Rexburg, Idaho, and the children were already gone. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Melanie would allegedly get life insurance if this was a successful hit. Melanie moved to Rexburg 2 months after Lori got there. This was part of the recruited 144,000 disciples in Chad and Lori's cult. She then married Ian Pulowski on November 29th, 2019. On the same day, this was in Vegas. So I'm telling you, the story is like, you thought that the Brian Laundrie stuff was hectic, just like what. This is 10 times worse, okay? Yeah, there's two Melanies. I'm going to get to that. This is Melanie, the niece, okay? Melanie, decided after she divorced this guy, Brandon, and had a major custody battle with him, ugly fight for the kids, for clearly maintenance payment and then life insurance. Wow, thank goodness he survived that. He's fine. She then went to Vegas, Melanie and Alex, and then Alex married this lady called Zulema, and Melanie married this guy, Ian Pulowski, on November 29, 2019. Both of them married at this little love chapel of love, I think it was called. I've got it in my notes. We'll look at it tomorrow. So Alex Cox got married at the same place on the same day to Zulema Pestines. And then Alex died, I kid you not, on December 19th. And this was one day after Chad Daybell's, hubby number 5's, wife's body had been exhumed for an autopsy. I kid you not. Can't make this stuff up. I'm so confused. I need to rewind. Thank you, Grizz. Don't worry. Today is layer 1. I would recommend a replay, like rewatch it after this, okay? Then tomorrow we dive deeper. It is a confusing case, but this will make sense. I've made it very easy for you guys to understand. So if we continue, there's another Melanie. There's two Melanies in the story. There's one other important Melanie, Lori's friend, Melanie Gibb. Melanie introduced Lori and Chad. She introduced Lori to Chad Daybell at an event. Melanie was very much part of this, like, prophecy beliefs, the LDS church, like, and went to Chad's events because he was a speaker, he was a self-published author, took Lori along, and that's where Lori met Chad. And it's not her fault at all. She's a very nice lady, and she's actually one of the reasons she was brave enough to be like, wait a minute, and really question everything she knew about Lori and Chad and say, wait a minute, and talk to the police. Okay, so that helped in actually cracking the case. Lori told Melanie that Tylee was at BYU and that JJ was living with his grandmother. But Lori told police that JJ was with Melanie Gibb. Melanie was able to tell details about Chad and Lori's beliefs. Yes. Ian got duped. I know, right? Wow. Okay. Hope you guys are following me. Yeah. This made me dizzy. But I can tell you now, this has been a wild week for me. Okay, because to be able to present it to you like this, with all that, when you start looking at this case, you're like, wait, what? It's ridiculous how many details there are. So Melanie's also done some interviews and things, which we can watch at some stage together. For now, let's focus here. Okay. On September 8th, 2019, Lori and her brother, of course, the brother's always there, took Tylee and JJ to Yellowstone National Park. Remember, Lori just moved to Rexburg, Idaho. She decided with her brother, what a great idea. Let's take these kids to Yellowstone National Park. This was the last photo of Tylee alive. It's actually the last photo of JJ too, except that there's like Ring door cam footage of him the day before he went missing. And then, of course, we know later, timeline-wise, was murdered. Tylee was murdered that evening or very early morning hours next day, based on Alex's cell phone pings, arriving at Lori's house at 2:45 in the morning. Tylee never seen again after this. Alex helped to bury their bodies on, here, wait for it, Chad Daybell's property. Even though Lori was not yet married to Chad. Chad was still living with his wife, Tammy. But there was Alex on Chad's property burying Tylee, and 2 weeks later, JJ. Are you following? It's absolutely crazy. Right. So, sure. Now, I just had to take a breath because I'm like, wait. Now, Tammy died October 19th, 2019. Okay, she died. She was buried. And then the police were like, wait a minute. So Charles got shot. Tammy died mysteriously. Now Lori and Chad are getting married. Then Tammy, so Tammy dies, Lori and Chad get married, and then the children are missing. So they're like, wait a minute, we need to see if there's foul play involved. So they exhumed Tammy's body on December 11th, and the next day Alex died of a blood clot in the lung. Natural causes, but like, okay. He said to his wife, Zulema, if anything happens to me. So even though he was like the main man, the big red flag, helping with all the stuff, he said, if anything happens to me, there's a duffel bag in the cupboard. There's like $7,000. There's a phone. You'll be okay. And then he died on December 12th, 2019. Okay? So here we go. We continue on. Yeah, Jill's like, holy smokes, this is hectic. An autopsy was done, not initially on Tammy, but it was done afterwards. They've just never released the autopsy results publicly yet. Okay, so now we get to Chad. Lori's husband, number 5. Let's look at this. Chad Daybell married Tammy on March 9th. March 9th is my birthday, my word, 1990. I was 6 years old. Okay, I just turned 6, but okay. Let's take myself out the picture. Chad Daybell married Tammy on March 9th, 1990. Tammy was a librarian, loved by all, wonderful woman. You can see they were married for 23 years and had 5 children together. Okay. They lived in Idaho. He was a grave digger, professional grave digger, before becoming a self-published author and cult leader. So one can only imagine digging the graves in the backyard wasn't that hard for him, except it wasn't very professionally done, which is, I think Alex is a huge red flag there. But still, he did a sloppy job there, which is just horrible. Thank goodness, because once the police swooped in there, he was arrested when they found those remains immediately. Okay. He wrote approximately 20 books with the theme of the apocalypse, doomsday, and end times prophecies. In 2018, 2018, remember that? When hubby number 3 of Lori dies? And when Lori was still married to hubby number 4, but dancing around and filming videos for Chad. At that time, Chad started hosting a podcast with Lori Vallow called Preparing a People. And that is really when this cult and the recruitment of the 144,000 people really began. When Chad and Lori met, Chad kind of very suddenly told her, wow, we've been married 7 times before in our previous lives. He apparently had 31 previous lives, 5 on this planet. And he said that Lori had lived 21 previous lives, also 5 on this planet. The rest were in on other planets. And so they were like destined to be together. And they were destined to be kind of king and queen of this cult. They were already talking about living in a castle. Everyone else living in tents, of course. It's just like Narcissism 101. They're going to live in a castle. Everyone else will live in tents, but they didn't have any tents or any rooms for their spouses at the time. Chad was with Tammy. Lori was with Charles. And guess what? Both of them ended up dead right before Chad and Lori got together and got married. Okay. Are we following? Yes, they did. They believed that July 20th, 2020, the world would end. Yes, they did. Oh, my word. This is also why they acted so recklessly in a way and just, went off to Hawaii, got married, did their thing, because they're like, no one will even remember. It's going to be the end of the world. And we're part of the 144,000 that will totally survive all this. So here we go. Tammy, Chad's wife, died in her sleep on October 19th, 2019. She was 49 years old, had always prioritized fitness and health, so it was very strange to her friends and family. But oddly, Chad asked their 5 children to make the decision of whether or not she should have an autopsy. And they said no, she shouldn't have one, saying that her health was failing in the weeks leading up to her death anyway. So they're like, shame, she was so sick, she was losing weight, she was so frail. There's no autopsy necessary. So I find that interesting. Chad was obviously very influential and manipulative with his words, of course. Obviously, cult leader, hello. To put it in, like, to ask the children probably in such a way to be like, should we have an autopsy, right? We shouldn't, right? Not really, right? And they're like, no, we don't need that. Okay. In December 2019, Tammy's body was exhumed for an autopsy due to Lori and Chad's sudden marriage, Chad claiming the health insurance, $430,000, and Tylee and JJ being missing. I forgot to play you this life insurance call. Just hold on 1 second, please. From Lori, when husband number 4 died right before she moved to Rexburg and married Chad in Hawaii. So just hold on. Remember, it crashed, so I don't have it on my screen here. So here we go.
This is Robin. May I have the policy number?
Sure. It is...
Are you calling in reference to a death claim?
Yes.
Okay, 1 moment, please. May I have the name of the insured?
L. Charles Vallow.
And who am I speaking with?
This is Lori Vallow.
And your relationship to the insured?
He's my husband.
Okay, 1 moment. Okay, ma'am, I'm just going to need to ask you a few questions so that I can open the claim, and then I can go over the claim procedure with you and answer any questions that you may.
I have to quickly interrupt and say, Lori made this call being like, ooh, let's claim the life insurance, which was like $1 million. But she didn't know that Charles had thought Lori's lost her friggin' mind. He's already filed for divorce. She disappeared to Hawaii. She came back. He cried when she came back. He's like, where have you been? But he was so worried about her mental health and the things she was saying. She was saying, just FYI, we'll deep dive this tomorrow in part 2. But she was saying that he was a zombie, okay, and that his spirit was no longer in his body, that was actually overtaken by someone called Nick Schneider. Okay. And that because he was no longer in his own body, she was going to get rid of all his stuff and she was going to kill him. So he was very worried. So what did he do? He switched the life insurance to his sister. Lori didn't know that. Okay. So bear that in mind.
I have afterwards. That would be great. Okay. First of all, may I have your daytime phone number, please? Sure. It's. And what was the date of Mr. Vallow's passing? July 11th. And what was the cause of his passing? Well, he was shot.
She's like, he was shot. Now listen to her words right after this. Anna, I must disagree because he died 1 day after Tammy's body was exhumed and told his wife, if anything happens to me, here's a duffel bag, here's the cash, here's the this, here's. I think I think there's a bit of Lori involved there, or Chad. I'm not sure, but the timing is just too bizarre.
Okay, so I don't know how I want to put that.
Did you hear that? She said, I don't know how I want to put that. He was shot. Yeah, I don't know how I want to put that. Yeah. Okay, yeah, he was shot. What?
All right. And I hate to ask, but is it, you can just say yes or no. Was it a homicide? No, it was an accident. An accident, okay.
Doesn't she sound convincing?
And what state did he
Not.
pass away in? Arizona. Okay. Okay, just bear with me for one moment. I just need to pull up a few other things. Okay. Are you aware of who the primary beneficiary of the policy is? It's me. Okay. And may I
No,
get
it
your,
isn't. No, it's not.
One moment. My computer just went away for a second. Okay. Okay, ma'am. That is all the information I need to open the claim. What we will do now is review the policy and the file to confirm the beneficiary information and determine the claim requirements that we will need to settle this particular claim. Once we have completed our review, we will prepare a claim packet to send to the named beneficiary once that has been confirmed. And the claim packet can either be mailed or emailed or faxed. How would you like to receive a correspondence? Email would be great. Okay, and what is your email address? .com. Okay. All right, so you should receive an email from our office within the next 3 to 5 business days or sooner. It will have the instructions listed. Once you receive the information, if you have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to give our office a call, and then we can go from there. Okay, is there anything I can help you with at this time? That's it, I think. Okay, ma'am. Well, I'm very sorry for your loss. You take care of yourself. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Ink says he could have had her committed for saying he was taken over and she was going to kill him. Here's the kicker. He did have her committed. He did. And guess what? She passed the psych test with flying colors. He had her committed. Believe me, there are so many layers in this case. Back to the presentation. Okay. So December 11, 2019, Tammy's body was exhumed for an autopsy due to Lori and Chad's sudden marriage. Chad was claiming the health insurance, and then with Tylee, of course, and JJ being missing. The results of the autopsy were not publicly released, but Chad has been charged with Tammy's murder. Hello, Lori and Chad. Yeah, they've been charged with that. That's the charges they're facing. So they're going to go to the trial in January 2023 is when it's expected. The trial is expected to last like 10 weeks. Put that in your calendar, right? And the children said that the results showed she's been asphyxiated. So that's never been released to the public, but the children talked and they said, well, it said she was asphyxiated. So someone saying pillow? Possibly, yes. Chad married Lori 2 weeks after Tammy's death, and in a way with no witnesses or family around. 2 weeks. Married to this woman for 23 years, had 5 children with her. They were like college sweethearts. They were the closest ever. They like held hands well into the late years here, like up until the moment she died. You know, they were a sweet couple. Everyone knew them, like, wow, they're so close. Meant to be together. Meets Lori. Tammy dies. Gets married to Lori 2 weeks later. Now, I said there in the corner, no, to her children do not believe that their father killed her. They're just like, nope, they blame Lori. Yeah, emails fastest. Computer says no. Police are not obligated to protect citizens from harm. That is not their job. Interesting. Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So here, let's see this magical wedding and this couple. Oh my word. There we go. Let's make it bigger. No, let's not do that. Then you can't see the text that I made for you. Okay, so Chad Daybell married Lori Vallow on November 5th, 2019. In hindsight, I can now tell you this after, I know they're still going to trial, so, oh man, I still have to say allegedly, but they're being charged with the murders after allegedly murdering Tammy and Tylee and JJ, and possibly Charles Vallow. Not that was never, it was self-defense. That's what the police said, but it wasn't. We know this, but like everyone, all these people, except Alex still alive. He died in December, on December 12th. But here they go. Off to Hawaii, getting married, hiring a professional photographer. Tylee and JJ at this point were missing. There was a $20,000 reward out for them that they didn't put out. I believe it was actually Larry and Kay and other family members that put that out. Police looking everywhere for Tylee and JJ. And these two are like, no worries in the world. No one will even remember this because, end of the world. So yes, they got married in Hawaii. Chad claimed the $430,000 life insurance on Tammy. Lori bought their wedding rings. Now get this, get it? 17 days before Tammy died on Amazon for a whole $35. It was like a, what do they call it? I can't remember the word. What kind of ring? But yes, she bought their wedding rings on Amazon 17 days before Tammy died. This same Amazon order was what was on Charles Vallow's email. So she was using his accounts to buy things for her and a new hubby. And that's where Kay, Charles Vallow's sister, and Larry Woodcock saw the email because they didn't know where Lori was, where Tylee was, where JJ was. Then they saw this email like Rexburg, Idaho? That's where this is being delivered to? And they sent the police over there. Okay. Jack in the box ring. Yes, aloha, off to prison. So before Chad and Lori moved to Hawaii, note this as well. Chad had emailed a property manager and told them that him and Lori were a clean couple with no pets and no kids. How's that? No pets, no kids. Okay, what about Tylee and JJ? Oh no. No one knew at that point that they had been murdered. No one knew. But that's interesting, right? So much premeditation. It's ridiculous. And so we continue. So Tylee allegedly did not like Chad at all. So he labeled her as a zombie because she was a difficult teenager. Now, I will expand more on this tomorrow. But please note that Lori and Chad and their belief system, they were labeling people as dark and light. People who were dark were overtaken by other spirits, worldly spirits, Satan-worshipping type of spirits, and they called them zombies. They believed that they had the right to remove zombies from the planet. Removal means murdering them. And so Chad, because Tylee didn't like him at all, Tylee was really struggling, so was JJ, with their mental health from everything I can read because of Charles Vallow's death. They couldn't make sense of it and suddenly moving, and now they're in Rexburg, Idaho, and they're like, what? So they were labeled by Lori and Chad as these problem children and zombies. So JJ was on the autism spectrum, and Lori and Chad labeled him as a zombie too, because Lori would look at him and say, look how hyperactive he is. Look how much stimulation he needs. Look at him climbing the cabinets. Look at him knocking over a picture that I have of Jesus Christ, I think it was. Look at him. He knocked over a picture. This guy's a zombie. This was a 7-year-old child. Tylee was just a few weeks away from turning 17. And they're like, these are zombies. Their spirits have been they're stuck because these new evil spirits have taken over their bodies. And so the only way to release their spirits to heaven was to murder them. That's what they believed. Okay. Yeah, the name on the order was Charles. She used Charles's account to order their rings. I know, right? Yes, respect to Nate Eaton. I agree. Nate is kind of like Brian Enton in this case. He's covering everything. He was even in Hawaii chasing these people down. So yes, I'll show you some more of that, or some of that. We just got to get through all these facts first, layer by layer. On October 1st, Lori and Chad rented a storage unit. Remember, the kids were missing. They were only found in June. Their bodies were only found in June the following year. So in October, I mean, we're talking Tylee dying September 9th, JJ September 23rd. And on October 1st, Lori and Chad rented a storage unit and placed all of the children's belongings in it. We're talking bicycles, teddy bears, photo albums. Like, who does that? Baseball gloves and baseball, and just like toys and things. Like, what in the heck? Apparently the guy that had rented the storage unit to Lori, Ryan, she used that name, was saying it was just like so sad to look at the storage unit, especially in hindsight, and just see like all the children's stuff in there, especially knowing later what happened to them. The children's remains were discovered on Chad's property on June 9th, 2020. Now, tomorrow, as I say, we're going to go over all my notes, so that'll be a deeper dive than today. But please know that Lori was already arrested in March in Hawaii and escorted back to Idaho, put in prison, or put in jail. And Chad was a free man for the months until March, April, May, June, 4 months until they actually found Tylee and JJ's remains on his property. Then he was arrested. Okay, so trigger warning, because this is upsetting about the children. So here, tomorrow, same time as today, 4 p.m. Eastern. 10 p.m. my time, 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so this is Chad Daybell's property. Remember that he was still married to Tammy. She was still alive at the time when the Lori's children's bodies were buried on his property, and Alex's phone pinged here, which is why the police got a search warrant to go here, because of all the funny activity on his cell phone. Okay. 9 p.m. UK time, 10 p.m. EU time, 4 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. But just don't worry. After this will, if you just stay here, this will lead you to that one, and you could just set the reminder. But now, this property, you can see there's two sites they're looking at here. We'll look at another picture now. Tylee's body had been dismembered and burnt, and she was buried in the pet cemetery. So they dug up a dog and a cat, and then all the pieces of Tylee. Okay, so that is horrendous. The funny thing is, on the day that this was happening, September 9th, Chad had actually sent a text to his wife to explain that he had shot a raccoon in the backyard and buried it in the pet cemetery, and was actually burning some logs on the in the fire pit. So because of that text, that's also why police were like, wait, Alex's phone was pinging there. Chad sent a really weird message to his wife. Very detailed, more detailed than usual. So let's go and look there. They got the search warrant, and yes, Tylee's remains were found there. Then, if we just look at the next picture. I know, it's horrendous, right? It's absolutely horrendous. Again, trigger warning, right? The thing is, Tylee was murdered right after the Yellowstone National Park day after it was like dinner time, and then sometime at 2:45 in the morning, his phone was pinging at Lori's house. Tylee was not seen again. So to think that JJ was still alive for 2 weeks, knowing that now his father, Charles Vallow, was shot, then his sister gone. I don't know what he knew that happened to her, but she was dismembered and burned and buried on Chad's property. That must have been terrifying. And what's even worse is, again, trigger warning, I'm warning you guys, what they did to JJ. Because they found him, you see that indented area, it looks like a swimming pool at the back covered in grass, but that hollow area, they found JJ's remains there. And it was under a layer of white rock. So there was soil, 3 white rocks, and then plywood, a thin layer of plywood, and then his body. Now, his body had been wrapped in black trash bags, like from the neck down, duct tape all around. So as if, of course, his arms couldn't move. And he had a white bag over his head. So it's very, very scary what people are speculating happened to him. Some people think he may have even been buried alive, which I think is the most terrifying thing I've ever heard. What? You like bonus? Oh, yeah, yep, exactly. Bonus fact, Alex was also a stand-up comedian. Yes, he was. The layers. Alex was a truck driver, a massage therapist, and a stand-up comedian. And when he married his wife Zulema, remember right before he died, he actually gave her a massage the one day, but said that they need to put like a drop-down plastic sheet under her. She was to lie on top of it, and he was going to give her a massage. And she fell asleep so heavily, she thought that she'd been like drugged, or what the heck was he doing to her? Because she was in and out of consciousness, and she said she really felt like she was a target that day. When she was in and out of consciousness, she actually heard him talking on the phone, and she believes it was to Lori and Chad, and she thinks she was supposed to die. And so she feels extremely lucky to be alive, and detective said she's very lucky to be alive. So here, Tylee had been dismembered, burnt, and buried in the pet cemetery, and JJ had been wearing his red pajamas, wrapped in garbage bags, had been duct taped, had a white bag over his head. He was buried in the backyard too, covered with rocks and plywood. And she's just like zombies. She's like these freaking zombies. Like, oh, this lady. Hope you're getting angry. Hope you're getting angry like me. With these two. We could snark it right up with these two. Now, these are the charges that Chad is facing. Conspiracy to commit first-degree murder and grand theft by deception for Tylee Ryan. First-degree murder, Tylee Ryan. Conspiracy to commit first-degree murder and grand theft by deception, JJ Vallow. So JJ was 7, Tylee was 16, about to turn 17. 4, first-degree murder of JJ Vallow. Then conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, Tammy Daybell, his wife of 23 years. First-degree murder, see, that's what he's facing, of Tammy Daybell. Insurance fraud as well, because he collected the $430,000 on her life. And also insurance fraud. There's not a number 7 there because they said number 7 in this whole list of things pertains just to Lori. So here they say count 6 first-degree murder, that the defendant, Chad Guy Daybell, on or about October 18th to 19th, 2019, in the county of Fremont, state of Idaho, was concerned in the commission of a first-degree murder and did aid and abet in its commission, or, not being present, advised and encouraged its commission, or by command compelled another to commit the crime, and did so with malice aforethought, and did so willfully, deliberately, and with premeditation, which resulted in the death of a human being, to wit, did either kill Tamara Tammy Daybell and or assist in the killings of Tamara Tammy Daybell, and or did encourage the killing of Tamara Tammy Daybell, and or did command another to kill. I'm thinking the other person is probably friggin' Alex, right? And Alex said he was gay, but he married a woman and died 4 weeks later. Whoa. I'm telling you, can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. It's just absolute. We're just looking at layer number 1 now, guys. This case is really crazy. And look at their photos. Just look at this couple. They're like, yay, like 2 weeks later, after Tammy died, children are dead, off to Hawaii, married, just like in love. Like, what on earth is going on? They have like literally no shame, no conscience, nothing. Vallow, 48, hard 48, might I add, right? Is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, 2 counts of criminal conspiracy, and 1 count of grand theft. At the April 19th court appearance, Tuesday, she may enter a plea of guilty or not guilty to the charges. We can imagine what plea she's going to enter. This is Lori's latest mugshot. It was released 2 days ago. She has been found competent to stand trial. She was mentally unfit up to now. Which, is that really a surprise? So she was in a mental health facility up to now, since she was arrested in March of 2020. Okay, that's a long time. Now she's fit to stand trial. She's going to be arraigned on Tuesday, April 19th. She's going to be tried with Chad Daybell. Now, he filed a motion to have them tried separately, and the judge said, no, you will be tried together, which I love. The trial is expected to start in the beginning of 2023. Lori still reads Chad's books in her cell and spends hours dancing. Yeah, those eyes are dark. She cannot choose insanity because in Idaho, they do not have the insanity plea. Cool, right? They have the death penalty, but she cannot go for the insanity plea in Idaho. Yeah. Chad is seen freaking laughing his head off. Is he in this slide? Just hold on. Oh, I think it was in that previous slide I had. Wait. This one? Sorry. I just want to see where it is. Yeah, look at him there. He's laughing his head off. He thinks it's freaking hilarious when the judge is saying what his charges are that he's facing. But I think it's because of his belief system. Like, he's probably like, oh my word, like, you can't sentence me to death. Like, he's probably just thinking it's expediting him to heaven. You know what I mean? So Idaho prosecutors will seek the death penalty against Chad Daybell. He was seen laughing when facing the judge on Zoom. I believe the kids were a mild inconvenience for Lori. That's why they were killed. Yeah, and I think they were also murdered because they know that, well, their dad at the time, Charles, was murdered. Then Tammy, later. But okay, so I don't know about Tammy, but Charles was murdered. I think they were like not coping with it, agitated, angry for moving around and everything. And at that point, Lori, she was just eliminating witnesses, including her brother in the end, allegedly. Right. So, yes, so we were here. Dancing with myself. Robert. Exactly. She's like, woo, in her cell. So I say, Grizzlies, hit the like if you enjoyed this presentation. It takes hours to research and make these for you, so your support means the world to me. It takes hours. It does. I really appreciate your support. Please hit the like button now so I can just have a sip of water and get my voice back. So we can wrap up today's one. I don't want to make it longer than 2 hours because I want to make sure that you guys that are going to watch the replay don't feel overwhelmed. Okay, tomorrow we're going to deep dive all of this work I've done. Pages and pages and all the micro details. Okay, as many as we can get through tomorrow. And I know that I haven't done any map time either. Mr. Grizzly's actually like, oh, you're doing map time. And Inks was saying on Twitter, like, yeah, map time's going to be off the chain. And I'm like, oh my word, map time is good. It's like the amount of times that Lori moved and then looking at Chad's property and just everything. He's like, what? Okay, so let's just quickly have a little commercial break. I really hope it doesn't echo. It shouldn't, but you never know. Let me know if it does. Then I'll just stop it. Okay. Welcome to Grizzly True Crime, established June 2021. Thank you for watching. Viewing Grizzly videos is a great source of support, and it's free. There are other 100% free ways to support Grizzly True Crime. Like, subscribe, and share. Other fantastic ways to support the channel would be, for example, becoming a member. Click the join button or the link below. During a live stream or premiere, you can buy a super chat or super sticker by clicking that button right there. The most direct way to support the channel would of course be through PayPal, link below. Join the Grizzly Patreon community for exclusive content. There are 3 tiers to choose from. I am a true crime author, so you could get my ebooks, audiobooks, or paperbacks, and I also offer you notebooks or journals. buymeacoffee.com/Gisela K. Need I say more? You know I love coffee. Get yourself some Grizzly merch, and if you post a picture of yourself in it, remember to tag me so that I can share it too. My merch shelf is now also active right below this video. If not, just click the link in the description box. If you haven't yet, join us Grizzlies on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. We have a really great community on all those platforms as well. Thank you so much for watching, and now let's get back to the live stream or video. Okay, thank you. I'm all refreshed. Had some water. Thank you so much, Lori, for the $10 super sticker. I really, really appreciate it. RA, you say I never get notifications. You know, I was struggling with that too on my phone, but it's a phone setting more than a YouTube setting, because if you click subscribe and the bell to say all, you should get it unless your phone is on some sort of like do not disturb mode or don't send me notifications. So I hope you will get some, but I hope you'll tune in tomorrow as well. Love the pilot voice. Yes. So that, I hope you enjoyed layer 1. What I wanted to show you, oh my word, thank you so much, Miss Dewey. I'm so going to restock the pen drawer. I love these friggin' pens, and I'm so going to restock the pen drawer. Yes. Thank you so much. The monsters under our bed. Thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate it, everyone. You guys are so sweet. Time to get more notebooks. Yes. Okay, Robert, are you encouraging me to get more notebooks? Any day. I've got so many of them. But yes, this notebook is just about done. It's got just a few pages left. Yeah, this was just layer 1. This was layer 1. Are you guys getting it? Let's just have a look at what we're dealing with. Tomorrow, we're going deeper. We're going through all the notes that I hand wrote for you for the last 3 freaking days. Sitting on my armchair, just like all day. Mr. Grizzly's like, what are you doing? Because so many notes. Aileen Bernard, thank you so much for your $20 super sticker. I like your logo. Speaking of which, that's like a rainbow unicorn. A lot of you guys were saying you want a rainbow star as a new emoji. I need 39 more members to be able to add another emoji or another pack of emojis. It's kind of like a game that YouTube plays. They're like, if you have this many members, you can have this many emojis. And if you have this many, then you can add new ones. So yes, I'm just waiting for that. Johnny DeSant, thank you so much. Awesome research, Gisela. Great presentation. Glad you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, everyone. You have your notebook. So cute. If you don't know what Good Girl's talking about over here, I make my own notebooks. They're available on Amazon.com, as you saw on my advert. So I do want to design some more and launch them. It's just a time management thing, you know. But there will be some more very soon. Used to live in Rexburg. I actually grew up in Idaho Falls. I lived there when the Teton Dam broke. Whoa. Oh, my word. What I want to show you quickly is this one. It's so good. It's, remember Kay and Larry? Wait. Ooh, and we're going to see, this is East Idaho News. And shout out to Nick Eaton, who is like Brian Enton, kind of, we all know Brian Enton. He's like that in Idaho on this case, you know. Belle of Amherst, thank you for your $2.99 super sticker. That's so sweet. Is Nightbot human? Nightbot is not human. So I'm going to show you a preview of what Nick does. And when I put this on the left, we have Kay. And on the right, we've got Larry Woodcock. Now, Kay, remember, is the brother of Charles Vallow, hubby number 4, who was shot by Alex, Lori's brother. Okay? You with me? And they're just so happy for justice on its way, because they're like, oh, my word, Lori's going to have to face us. She's going to have to face us in court. Okay. So let's look at this.
Finally.
I was stunned at first, but it took a little bit for it to settle in. But
Yeah.
absolutely just excited and relieved. I guess relieved is the best. Yeah. The best.
Well, to me, what it proves is that she has played the system her whole life. And, and she can't play it anymore. Mm-hmm. I never believed that she was incompetent. I know her better than that. I truly believe she played the system the whole time. Mm-hmm. And now that they're both going to be sitting in a court across that fence from me,
yes,
and Kay and our family,
yes,
and we're going, and this time, at some point in time, she is going to have to look at us. It's not going to be like that fiasco where when they brought her into school, into the court, and she had her crayon paint and whatever else she had on, and looked like a bimbo.
Yeah. Oh my word! I'm loving the snark. Don't you love it, guys? Go Woodcocks. They snarking it right up. I mean, her little lashes here, her hair, her lipstick. Apparently, what do you guys call it in the USA? There's like a red cold drink powder that they have in prison. Okay, and that's what she used. I just can't remember the name of it to put this color on her lips. And he's like, looking like a freaking bimbo.
Yeah, it looked like a bimbo. So this time, at some point in time, she's going to look at us. She's going to have to, because I am not going to give her 1 inch. I'm going to be right there behind her, just like I did with Chad. And I hope I can do the same with her.
Oh, yeah.
I want her to feel us breathing down
I
her
want
neck.
her to know that I'm right behind her, just like I wanted Chad to know.
Did you hear? I want her to feel us breathing down her neck. Okay, you guys are saying Kool-Aid. Now, I think it's something like Red Ranchers, something like that. Do you guys know that? Whatever it's called, it sounded like Red Rancher or some drink like that. But that's what she was using. Fruit punch, Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid. Whoa, don't drink the Kool-Aid, everyone. Snarky, snarky shark. Snarky lives. So I'm going to... Oh, wait, let me just let Nick talk a little bit here.
Do you think that she's changed?
I think it's
I
this.
don't know.
My guess is no. My guess is she is just in her little, I say in her world,
Yes.
but not in a sick, delusional way, but in a strong-willed, I'm not guilty, and Chad and I did what was right, and, you know, and that type of, well, that way I don't have to ever face the fact that I murdered my 2 kids and my husband, or Chad murdered her 2 kids and my wife. So yeah, I think that she's just gonna continue on, and I don't know that she'll ever realize or ever state out, you know, admit her guilt. I don't know. But I don't know.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think she'll ever admit her guilt? Jolly Rancher. Yeah. You guys are all saying Jolly Rancher. It could be that. It could be that. I watched this YouTuber called Gisela K. If you've never heard of her, I've mentioned her before. I don't know if it's on my podcast or where. My podcast is exclusively on Patreon if you're interested. I also just do, I just uploaded a forest waffle video on there. On Patreon, there's a lot of like beyond true crime stuff that goes on. We've got true crime podcasts, we've got scripts, we've got art, and then we've got like behind the scenes stuff, you know, like forest walks and stuff. But I think I mentioned it there on my podcast. Yeah, Gisela K is the YouTuber, and she was actually in prison before. And so she makes these videos where she shows what they like cook up in prison with like no stove, no oven and things, and how they did their makeup and things like that, like using coffee and a little bit of water and a little bit of this, and then making like eyeliner and mascara and things like that. It's quite interesting. If you don't know how prison life could be, whoa, like damn. I just watched that. I'm like, what? You did what now? Like the things they cook up, the things they make, even like smashing Cheetos and then making like a little layer of something, I don't know, to bake some kind of pizza. It's very interesting. So I would recommend that. Robin says, thank you so much for your $20 super sticker. I've watched several YouTubers on this case over the years, including a murder as Heart with Annie. $20 towards future videos from new subscribers. See you tomorrow. Awesome. Thank you, Robin. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's very sweet. Yeah, I hope to do a really great job. You know, be right up there. Right up there in this coverage, because I'm like, what? We're going to deep dive this. It's like totally got all my attention. What? Tomorrow? So tomorrow, deeper dive, more details. I hope you're ready for it, because today was like, what? Today was like, what? I don't expect an I'm sorry from her either. I don't either. Do you? Do you guys? Let's quickly go to, I just want to see what the poll results said. I know a lot about these cases. I live in Tucson, Arizona. Okay, I learned that from a YouTuber who was in prison for a stint. She covers cases too. Are we possibly talking about Christina Randall? I really like Christina Randall and Gisela K. They got some really cool videos. Not sponsored, of course. Here we go. Let's just look at the poll quickly. She still thinks she'll turn into a goddess queen. I know, like the way she's smiling, the way she's still reading his books, the way she's dancing around. Whoa. Like, I think that she thinks she's like on her way still to this dream afterlife, you know? Yeah, Christina Randall, exactly. So Christina Randall and Gisela K, I like those. And they give, especially Gisela K, she gives like really cool info of like what life was like in prison, my word. Okay, so I asked, have you ever heard of this case? 65% said yes, but I can't wait for this. Awesome. 15% said never, but let's deep dive it. You guys are probably the ones saying, wait, what? Okay. So I hope you'll watch the replay. And then 20% said a bit, but never a deep dive. Well, welcome to it. Welcome to Grizzly True Crime, where we dive so deep. You know what it feels like? I'm very like visual, right? So I'm like, okay, we're out there in the ocean, deep diving, but now we've come across like some new friggin' species of things. Like there's new fish, there's new coral, there's like, what is going on here? What? This is the deepest dive I'm going to have to do because this case is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Thank you so much to everyone who joined me here today. This video first is to process a little bit. Then I'm going to be able to edit out that beginning waffle and that little portion where the whole internet failed in the Netherlands. So no, it was probably just, I don't know what happened there. But yeah, the internet just like outage in little village where I live. They're like, this is just too much. This YouTuber is asking too much of our internet. So yes, deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole. Yeah, deeper and deeper into these Mr. Ballin-like scuba diving. I love Mr. Ballin, by the way. Mr. Ballin is one of the reasons I started my channel, okay? Mr. Ballin. Yes, and I always think of Mike from that chapter when I'm talking about life insurance, because he's got a whole little life insurance dance, huh? Okay, A Murder's Heart is the YouTube channel from Tap Joe Ryan's sister. Wait, oh yes, okay. Who's in your video tonight, the Reddit is her YouTube. And she goes through all the affidavits, does exactly like you do. Yours is producer Reddit. Thank you. Well, yeah, if you guys, you see the audience, you guys kind of lead the way, you know? And so if you guys want me to eventually, or tomorrow's first a deep dive part 2. If you want me to read through all the affidavits and things, you know, I got your back. You know I can do that. Yeah, Mr. Ballin and Mike. Yes. Sub the waffle outage. This is, yeah. Yeah, sub the waffle outage. That stays. Okay, well, I hope you had a great time today. Happy long weekend to you. If you're celebrating Easter, we don't really celebrate that. But happy Easter to you. Happy long weekend. Hope you're having a great time. Hope you have a long weekend. I mean, here in the Netherlands, they didn't really give Mr. Grizzly off yesterday. It was kind of weird. They're like, you will work. I was like, what? Yes. Oh, my word. The monsters in our bed. Mr. Ballin. Exactly. Mr. Ballin, that chapter got me inspired. Mr. Ballin was my inspiration for starting my YouTube channel. I'm like, I will do that. I will figure out how he did this green screen thing because it looks so cool. And then, like, you see, you can do all these different backgrounds and stuff. So, yes, Mr. Ballin, absolutely. Have a great weekend. Yeah, I hope you'll be back tomorrow. You guys are saying have a great weekend. Have a great night. Okay, you'll be back tomorrow. Once I end this live stream, you'll see it'll automatically take you to the next one for tomorrow. Set the reminder and I'll see you same time, same place on my throne. Look at me go. Oh, my word. So I'm going to play my little outro now. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, mods. I think I had like, did I have 2 mods here? You guys are working hard. Thank you so, so much. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you to my members, Patreon supporters, and everyone else who supports this channel. You guys are very, very sweet. FYI, I check my notifications for PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee usually on Mondays. That's when I kind of do that sort of admin stuff to reply to everyone, because I do like to reply to you personally, right? When you say to PayPal or Buy Me a Coffee. So thank you so much to everyone who this week already contributed there. I'll reply to you very soon. Yes, thank you so much. Toodles, Grizzlies. Let's play that outro. Fury time. Okay, let's play. Where is it? Here we go. Here.